Hello, I'm your host, Jason Miles, here for another episode of Beyond the Red Zone, our very own show dedicated to in-depth coverage of sports. At least that's what we tell ourselves every time we do this show. For our returning listeners, subscribers, and of course, our very valued patrons, hell yes! You are the driving force behind the TIR machine. We couldn't do this without you. For those new to the channel, welcome. If you do enjoy this type of programming, please hit like and subscribe. It is a passive gesture that goes a long way towards promoting the channel. Also, for viewers of the main show, we will be back tomorrow defining the PMC and all our issues with it, with returning TIR guest Vivek Shibber. Also, as you know, TIR is a listener-supported labor of love. If you dig what we do here and have the means, become a patron or a paid YouTube subscriber. You'll have access to the champagne rooms and join us for our movie nights, and you get the satisfaction of knowing that you're a part of making sure this insanity can continue. Keep going. Now, on to the show. What a week! There were great games all day. After Miami took a beating by the Colts in week 1, they came back and had one of the more exciting games of the week against an upstart New England team. The Dolphins still have issues on the defensive side of the ball, but I think this loss gives them something to build on. The Dallas Cowboys and New York Giants, two teams that most people have written off, had a high-flying matchup where Russell Wilson threw for over 400 yards and 3 touchdown passes, his final one being a perfect deep pass to Malik Neighbors with 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter to go ahead in a seesaw match. Sadly, Wilson's effort was for naught, as his New York football Giants would not be victorious against the Cowboys. Dak and Dallas were able to pull off the win in overtime. The Eagles are still the team to beat in the Eastern Division and the entire NFC, but guarantee that Dallas and NYC won't be going down without a fight. Baker Mayfield continues to look like a first-round quarterback in Tampa, needing a first down on 4th and 10 late in the fourth quarter. As the pocket broke down around him, Mayfield was able to scramble for the first and lead the Bucks to a touchdown on their way to defeat the Houston Texans. But like we said last week, this season is still early, but the Bucks look stout on defense and they have serious weapons on offense. There are some quarterback injuries already this year, and some may be worse than others. The Bengals are once again going to be without Joe Burrow for possibly 3 months, and pundits are already putting pressure on the team to pick up a free agent quarterback in the interim, like Kirk Cousins. But is that really what the Bengals need? Are people so video game brained that they believe plugging a quarterback into a new system, new team in the middle of the season works? Jake Browning has been with the team since 2021, and while he had 2 bad picks in relief of Burrow, Browning was able to settle down and get the win for Cincinnati. I hope the Bengals stay put and await the return of their all-world starter, who just can't stay healthy. The Super Bowl rematch between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles was more of a slugfest than this last season's championship game blowout. That being said, the Eagles were victorious once again, and they look to have Mahomes and Kelsey's number. While the Chiefs were able to mount a late-game comeback, the Eagles are looking like solid early season contenders to repeat as NFL champs. Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll are once again in the same division, and they still hate each other. And for me, a massive football fan, I'm here for it. While the Raiders are in the midst of a massive rebuild, the Chargers have, for my entire time watching football, been a good team that never could get over the hump and into the Super Bowl, sans one miracle season in 1994. That Chargers team was no match for the 1994 star-studded San Francisco 49ers. But now, with Jim Harbaugh constructing a team in his chiseled image, will Harbaugh be able to finally bring a Lombardi trophy to San Diego? We all know they're still the San Diego Superchargers. It's too early to tell, but with the Chiefs spiraling, the Broncos still having growing pains, and the Raiders in a rebuild, what better time than now for the Chargers to be serious contenders? The two things in their way may be the Ravens and the Bills, the class of the division, and the Ravens have one of the most explosive offenses in the league. Josh Allen is one of the top quarterbacks in the league, and a Bills-Chargers AFC championship would be the greatest shoulda, woulda, coulda AFC championship game in history, one where nobody would want to see a loser. Well, let me bring in my co-host to break down the week that was and what to look forward to in week 3 in the NFL and talk a little boxing while we're at it. Terrence Crawford took down Canelo Alvarez, and maybe Terrence Crawford, more so than Jake Paul, is really what the sport needs to bring back viewers. And in college football, the Texas Longhorns beat UTEP, but Arch Manning put up pedestrian numbers. Is he all hype and not the generational talent we were promised? Or has NIL leveled the playing field a bit and lower tier teams can acquire 4-star non-starters from big name programs that just used to stockpiling talent? To have this discussion with me is my homie, my dog, my co-host in these sporting endeavors. Please welcome Macadocious Rex.
Hello, everybody. Let's go Guards, man. Let's go Guardians. Gonna sneak in the playoffs and win the World Series this year. Fuck all y'all.
Are you wearing your Cleveland hat?
Fuck yes, I am.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Guardians hat?
Yep, it's a Guardians hat.
Did you burn all your Indians hats?
I didn't have a lot of Chief Wahoo gear.
Just didn't have it.
Yeah, dude. Like I like the script, like Indians that was on the jerseys. And when they went to the script I thought that was a lot better than Chief Wahoo. As a kid, I thought it was great. And then as I got older, I'm like, this is pretty racist.
Yeah.
And then my favorite was after Bomani wore the shirt with the caricature of Chief Wahoo, but it was a white dude and it said Caucasians.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's fucking hilarious. I'm really not going to rock any Chief Wahoo stuff. Yeah. Sorry, Red. Sorry. Yeah, see, the thing is, the Tigers were up by like 15 and a half games over the Guards at one point. And I think they're only up by like 5 now. And there's still like 5 more games that the Guardians and the Tigers have to play. So the Guardians technically could win their division. But Tariq Skubal is just a phenomenal pitcher, and they have him tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to. Listen, the only thing plug and play about Sam Darnold is Jason plugging and playing his wife in front of Sam.
You leave Mrs. Darnold out of this.
Miss Jason, if you're nasty.
Well, you wanted to talk a little bit about the insanity that is the Kawhi Leonard situation.
Yeah, man. Like, I can't fathom with the NBA salary cap going up. And I understand, like, Supermax contracts take up 40% of your salary cap, right? Like, I understand that. Sorry, guys. I'm actually smoking a little weed tonight because I had a day. But how okay, Steve Ballmer is supposedly like a pretty smart dude. How do you think, okay, there's this company that's going to be our jersey sponsor, and it's a startup. Like, one, who thinks that's a good idea? Right? If I see startup, if I own a team, like Jason, you and I end up winning $11 bajillion, and you and I pull our winnings together and we go to Silver and we say, listen, we want a team in Rosarito, and we're willing to pay $8 billion for it. Silver's going to be like, fuck yeah, dude, cut that check. Right? So we because we have $11 bajillion, we're working with President Claudia to help her kick over some money, and we build a stadium, and it's fucking rad as shit, right? But see, now we need a jersey sponsor. And so we're down here in Rosarito, we're close to the border. You and I are sitting there in our owner's box, like, who should we take in the expansion draft? And we get a phone call, right? And it's some fucking startup that's like, we want to be your jersey sponsor. The first words out of my mouth were, eat my dick.
Whoa.
Right? Because the last thing I want is a startup that no one's ever heard of, right? On my jersey, who I know I might get a year's worth of payments out of, but probably not much past that. Mm-hmm. Okay? So Steve Ballmer's like, sure, startup company, you can be our jersey sponsors. And then Steve Ballmer goes and plops $50 million investment into it. So essentially he's paying for his own jersey sponsor, right?
Mm-hmm. Which is odd.
Yeah, to say the least. Okay. And then you get this Kawhi Leonard part of it, which is like, I don't know if you guys know much about it, but since his dad was killed, like his uncle has essentially been like his manager, his confidant, his consigliere who just takes care of everything, right? So he wins the title in Toronto. He's about to become a free agent. And they're talking to 4 teams. And he's like, listen, all you bitches, right? This is what Kawhi wants. We want control of like media appearances. We want to do as few of them as possible. We do not, you know, we don't want to do a lot of meet and greets in the public. We don't want to do a lot of press. And, Kawhi's kind of had like this thing with injuries since those last like 2 years in San Antonio. Mm-hmm. So he's like, if I'm hurt, I'll let you guys know about it, but you can't let everybody else know about it, which one is against league rules, right? You can't do that. So keep in mind, the Clippers so far with Kawhi on the roster, who's only played 40% of the games that he has been able to play, right? And he's made over $253 million. So they've had 2 lawsuits that they've settled with the NBA, right? For lying on about the injury, because that pushes betting lines, right? So Ballmer actually got taken to court over the shit by like casinos. Okay. They've been fined multiple times by the NBA for lying about Kawhi's injuries. And the thing is, Ballmer knows he's got a ton of cap room. That's why he's bringing in Paul George and Kawhi, right? So the minute he pulls this trade for Paul George, because remember the George trade was approved first and then Kawhi signed, right? And this was another rider he wanted, Jason. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to live in Los Angeles. He wanted to live in San Diego, and he wanted Ballmer to buy him a helicopter to travel back and forth.
I mean, didn't he learn Kobe's lesson?
I mean, you'd think, but no. So all this being said, Kawhi was supposed to be the guy to get the Clippers to the next level, right? It hasn't happened. And Steve Ballmer is invested in this company. And Kawhi manages, because this was something he tried to pull in Toronto, and because of Canadian law regarding professional sports, they couldn't. Like, he literally wanted no-show jobs from other corporations. He wanted ownership in the team he signed with. He wanted ownership in other companies that wanted him to pitch merchandise. Like, dude, this uncle of his might be kind of crazy. Okay.
Or is this uncle one of those people that like watches all those guys that talk about you got to watch your business. You have to have multiple streams of income.
Hey, you know what? That's fine. But you know what? You probably shouldn't like hitch that kind of thinking to your nephew's professional basketball career, which is kind of going downhill because he can't stay healthy. Mm-hmm. People may not realize this, but part of the reason the Spurs were so pissed off at him, their doctor said his knee condition is like something that's going to continue to get worse. It will never improve. So all they saw was him, in a Spurs uniform, making Supermax money and not playing. So they were like, we're willing to get rid of him. Right. He had somebody hired by the Clippers that was a supposed like medical professional. He was not. And when he started having all those knee and soft tissue issues around his knee, mm-hmm. he was going to like faith healers.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. And like Eastern medicine practitioners.
Gotcha.
And then going to the Clippers and like, yeah, he got treatment for his knee. That's why he wasn't at the team facility getting it. He was taking care of it through another doctor. And Ballmer was like, oh yeah, great then. Like he's like, this is super. Right. But literally, the dude was bringing people on the payroll to be medical professionals that had no medical training. And, you know, like the sad part of this whole thing to me is I get wanting to look out for like your kid, right? And that's essentially what Kawhi is to this dude, right? But like, dude, if you know that this is the meal ticket, Kawhi Leonard and his continued career in the NBA, going to get acupuncture, I'm not talking like dry needling and what is it, red blood cell therapy, shit like that. Just going to the acupuncturist is not gonna, you know, heal a torn patella tendon. It's not. I promise you, it's not.
I've never had any success with acupuncture. Have you?
I've had it with my back.
Did you have success though?
Oh, dude, yeah. It helps.
Really?
It helps mitigate pain.
Really?
Yeah, but it's not fixing any of the issues that cause pain, right? I mean, yeah, sunning the butthole would at least give you some vitamin D. Yeah, I agree, Nuri. Yeah. But like, Ballmer gets like 2 knuckles deep in this entire like behind the scenes shit show, and is starting to pay fines, and realizes that this company that he's got like a no-show, you know, oh my gosh, what's the word when you're pitching products for another company, dude?
For another company?
Like this no-show endorsement thing for Kawhi, right? And he continues to pump money into this company that's going right to Kawhi Leonard. Like Pablo Torre, somebody already in chat said Pablo Torre's done a phenomenal journalism job on this. But like for me, why is Steve Ballmer, who's trying to make the Clippers a thing, right, instead of just a doormat? Because let's face it, the most famous thing about the Clippers before Ballmer bought the team was Billy Crystal and Danny Manning. Like that was about it. But you know, like the thing is circumventing the salary cap is not the way to do it. Like, I don't know if everybody remembers the Joe Smith thing in Minnesota. Like I was telling Jason about, they tried to like give him like a 10-year contract, which violated the rules at the time. And, you know, Minnesota ended up giving up 2 to 3 first-round picks because of it. So now you've got a bunch of other pissed off owners who, you know, literally were breaking the rules. Again, like I was telling Jason, with tampering, and they made a legal tampering period that almost every league has now before the start of free agency, where you can contact potential free agents. But like the owners are like, okay, this is one thing, right? But, you know, Ballmer is pumping tens of millions of dollars into a company that's going to die. And it did. It went bankrupt just so he can get around, you know, salary cap rules like that. You know, Red, I think you're right. The fucked up part is that Kawhi wanted to do nothing for the money. All he had to do was send a tweet endorsement and do one photo op. That's exactly it. He had to just like tag them in a tweet, Jason, and then pop up at their offices like once every few months. And then he would get $2 million a week. Fucking dumbfounding.
So how did it get found out?
Pablo Torre.
Well, how did he find out? He's not Magic.
No, but he started like literally people that work for the Clippers started contacting him.
So they're snitches.
Essentially, yes.
Everybody tells. I tell people that all the time. Everybody tells.
But then he started contacting other people,
you
know, like including people on the coaching staff, people that were on the medical staff, right? Because Kawhi has had half the training and medical staff fired since he got to the Clippers.
Because they're not butthole sonologists?
It's essentially, but it's because they're like, listen, your knee is not going to get better. There's nothing we can do. What we can do is like fit you with braces, you know, compression sleeves, things like that. And he doesn't want to wear them. Like during the last Olympics, he was coming off a very extensive knee injury. Remember, that's the year where like he got through the first 2 games and then sat out the rest of the playoffs while the Clippers made a run to the Western Conference Finals, right? 4 weeks later starts the Olympic training camp, and Kawhi's like, I want to play in the Olympics. And he just shows up thinking that he's going to be able to play. Right. And the Olympic coaching staff was like, no fucking way, dude. Right. I was on a subway train today and saw a champion ad. Remember when they made champion?
Petrovich Farm remembers.
That's right. But like his condition, which is probably arthritic to a point, but he's had a lot of damage to that knee. It's not gonna get better, right? So I'm interested to see what Adam Silver actually does. There's been like a couple sources have said that they're going to strip 5 first-round picks from the Clippers, which will take place after all their traded out picks have already been vested in their new teams, which would be like in 2033, 2034. Or you can see Kawhi's contract voided, which if I'm the Clippers, that's kind of what I want at this point. And that's what a lot of people on the coaching staff and in the front office want. They just don't want to have to deal with him anymore.
What happens if the discipline is light? Is this owner discipline, labor discipline, or a little bit of both, in your opinion?
I don't know if we see the Players Association really get involved. I think they're going to save most of their salvo for when this collective bargaining agreement gets to the end, right? Because the NBA is almost a 50-50 split right now between revenue share between ownership and players, right? And players naturally want to see the pay continue to go up. They want to see the salary cap continue to go up, which means that, their super maxes, which make up that 40% of the payroll, their pay goes up, commensurately. The kicker in all this is the new salary cap rules that took effect last year with the first and second apron, right? They're punitive measures. So it kind of dissuades teams from trying to build like the super teams again, right? So you're probably going to see more Oklahoma cities, teams that hoard draft picks during a period of being very bad, be smart with those draft picks, hit on 3 of them, 3 guys that you really want to keep in town, right? And then you can spin the others for, help to plug in holes in your roster or to like maybe bring in that big star to get you over the hump, right? But what I found just kind of ironic about this entire thing, do you know who the Clippers traded to make room for Kawhi Leonard?
No.
SGA down in Oklahoma City.
Ooh. Wait a minute, we got to do that. Wait a minute, we got to do that. we got to use the sound effect.
Yeah. I mean, they sent him out of town, Jason, because Kawhi did not want to play with rookies. He wanted to play with veterans.
But is the model, though, the super team hasn't really paid off outside of that one season in Miami.
Yeah.
So what is the super team in 2025? It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
I mean, you got to look at what's happening in Boston right now. They have 2 players on Supermax contracts. So 2 players make up 80% of their payroll. They still have to fit out 13 other players on 20%. But someone pointed out the NBA under David Stern and Adam Silver take the salary cap stuff very seriously. So I can see Ballmer like maybe getting the old George Steinbrenner, like you're suspended for X amount of years. You can't be seen at the arena. You can't have anything to do with this team. You can't do shit, right? Except sign checks, essentially. I just think it's really interesting, man, on what's going to happen because I just don't know how it's going to go. I don't think they void Kawhi's contract because that's rewarding him because what he can do at that point, even if they void his contract, what can he do? He can pick where he goes to sign anywhere, right? He wants to go play with LeBron. He finally has a chance and he could do it on a cheap deal for the rest of the season and then go into the next year as a free agent signing another giant deal, So
But is Kawhi and LeBron like? I guess here's my question too. A lot of these moves that you see made feel like owners listen too much to pundits who play too many video games on franchise mode.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you right now, there isn't a player in the league that doesn't enjoy playing with Kawhi Leonard, and he plays both ends of the floor very well.
You made him sound like a fucking nightmare earlier. He's getting people fired in the building.
Personal, like on that side, yes, but when you get him on the court, like he's a phenomenal teammate, and that's the thing Pablo Torre brought up. He interviewed a bunch of players, and they were all like, "Dude, I love playing with Kawhi." You know,
Jesus really speaks to how much those people really hate the working class.
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
Jesus. You did not have a ringing endorsement for basketball players.
Yeah. You know,
you made them sound kind of like horrible people.
Well, Kawhi, it seems like Kawhi's trying to control everything around him. And, you know, whether you are a huge star or just a guy at the end of the bench, you're still a player on a team that is going to be widely recognized. Like, you can't control all that, you know? You know, so I can see how he could be like a bro on the court. His teammates love him. And then for like ownership, for the front office, maybe even for the coaching staff, he's just a colossal pain in the ass. You know, there are those players like, you know, and there's a lot of examples of them throughout history where, you know, people are like, dude, I love playing with the guy. And then when you talk to the front office guys, they're like, Jesus Christ, if I ever see that guy again, I'm going to hit him with a car. You know, like it's just how it is. You know, but it just, I hope this is what I want to see. I want to see Silver, like, actually, if he says I'm going to come down hard, then follow through with it and do it. Right? Follow through with whatever you're going to do. If you're just going to do slap on the wrist, then just say, well, you know, we didn't feel that, you know, the harsh punishment fits the crime. You know, Ballmer made a horrible investment. He lost $50 million in this company. I think that's a punishment enough. And then he's going to have to eat stadium food for a week. Right? Whoa. Ken, I've literally been wearing these headphones the entire time I've done the show.
Apparently you need new headphones, according to Ken.
Wow.
You got bitch ass headphones, according to Ken. My God.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I put that on the screen. It didn't mean for it to derail your whole monologue.
Dude, Ken just was like, you know what? Fuck you, Mac. Okay.
Nuri says, got it. You want Silver to come hard and follow.
That's right. Just cream pie this entire investigation, Nuri. Okay.
But what does this say to the streaming services that are carrying everything? I think we talked a little bit about this before. Sports in general is kind of all over the place with where to watch a game.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Basketball, who plays 81 games, 82 games?
It's, believe it or not, it's going up to 84.
Oh, like they really needed that.
Yeah.
Games a season. Where do you watch all these games? How is that going to affect ownership's bottom line with the rights? How does that affect, you know, the salary cap and this violation of it? It feels like across the board, we're in a moment of deregulation like we've never seen with college and the pros.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you don't want to bury one of your franchises, right? I mean, these are beats, Virtuoso. What the fuck?
Just... Oh my God.
Jesus. God, everybody's just let me have it today. I haven't even made fun of rum yet, and everybody's letting me have it. But like, I think you don't, as a commissioner, you don't want to bury one of your franchises, right? Because the value of your league is tied up in the value
major
of the
market
franchises.
franchise as well.
Like, even if it's the little sister in the city, it's still it's a major Angeles, right?
Yeah.
And especially considering that he self-financed the whole arena, that is like the talk of the NBA right now. you don't want to see a shitty product. You don't want to see those 80s and early 90s Clippers teams in this sparkling new dome, right? Like, you don't want that. But I mean, it might have to come down to him stripping first round picks, right? To dissuade other owners from doing the same thing. I mean, if you don't think Matt Ishbia in Phoenix is over here like, how can we do this? Because our salary cap is shit right now. and I need to,
we could have gave him a fake comp. What?
Yeah,
like the college guys used to do. I mean, that's what the college boosters used to do. Come work at this car dealership for $1 million a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can come work in the office back here. And the thing is, this is a ploy as old as sports time, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're talking about having, the NBA's TV packages keep getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, right? If you go ahead and crush a franchise, I do have a big dome, Stuart. That is true. And I did not hurt any rum people today, Nuri. I haven't touched any rum this week. I had some Kraken last week, which was nice. But, the thing is, it's if he crushes the Clippers, right? He's like, no owner's ever going to do this shit again. And we're getting towards the end of the TV deals. Like, there's going to be some potential TV partners that are like, whoa, you're valuing, this deal, this potential deal, as if the Clippers aren't, the Clippers of the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they are. Like, if you strip 5 first round picks or even 2, like, I think we know now with the way the league is, you can't swing and miss on first round picks right now, right? If you have 3 in the first round, you can miss on 1. But if you only get the 1, like, you have to hit it. You have to have a guy that's ready to start playing some minutes and being a part of your rotation. Because
what is that hit rate really, though, for most teams?
I think lately it's been a lot better than it used to be, right? Mm-hmm. Because for the teams that are actually holding on to their picks, drafting and developing players, they know that they have to do this and build up that window of contention early while they're on that first contract. Because when that second one hits, dude, and this guy's good enough to get a supermax, he's going to make 40% of our payroll, right? So how can we still maintain some flexibility and still keep this guy happy, right? So I think Oklahoma City has the blueprint. And I'm not saying you're going to tank for 5 or 6 years, and I'm not allegedly tanking. I can't say that. Sterling was forced to sell the team. That's why Ballmer ended up with it, right? He did not want to sell. Donald Sterling liked being an NBA owner. I think he also liked being hated by the rest of his peer group because, he spent no money on amenities. I mean, fuck, dude. Jason is from California, and he could probably tell you when they played at the fucking Forum, the only reason there was food in that thing is because the Bus family owned it. If Donald Sterling could get away with not serving food or drinks or anything, he would have done it because he was a cheapskate. He was the Charles Comiskey of his day. And if you guys don't know about Charles Comiskey,
that's a pretty good analogy.
Yeah.
That's a really fair analogy.
Yeah. Charles Comiskey was the first owner of the White Sox and did not offer cleaning services to the players for their uniform. So they had to go home and wash their own shit. And that was part of the reason you had the Black Sox scandals, because he refused to pay bonuses that were in contracts. So, but that's the thing, Red. If they strip those picks, right, and they start sucking, Ballmer can sit here and say, I'll give you all this cash. A lot of these players aren't going to go fucking play and for an organization that is just routinely at the very, very bottom. A lot of these players don't take it as a challenge. Like, you know what? I can go to this bad team and make it good. These players don't want that shit now. And I don't blame them. That's a headache. That's a headache I wouldn't fucking want. And we saw it a lot, especially in the 90s. Like, as a Pats fan, dude, I felt horrible for Drew Bledsoe. fucking gets drafted. He gets up to Foxborough. Parcells is like, I got my guy, and we're going to win Super Bowls together. And the look on Drew Bledsoe's face was like, motherfucker, you just set me up for failure. This has been one of the worst teams in the NFL forever. And I'm supposed to just come in here and win Super Bowls? Like, come on.
They got to one within this, second year? Third year.
Third year.
That's pretty good. Third year, you're in a Super Bowl?
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think that was a weak AFC, and they were running up against the buzzsaw that was the Packers at that time, you know? So,
hey, what really beats them? Brett Favre or 2 kick returns for touchdowns?
Yeah, I mean, Desmond Howard, man.
I mean, I think the difference in that game, or you could say Reggie White, but I'm going to say Desmond Howard.
Yeah, Desmond Howard. It was definitely special teams play. You know, but yeah, man, I just think this is going to be, especially as Silver is leading into the NBA Europe project, as he's looking at expansion, which I think is going to happen. Like, this is how I look at expansion for all our leagues coming up. The NHL is going to do it first. Gary Bettman wants to be the first one to 34. That's what he wants, right? And I think if the NHL goes to 34, the NBA is going to be like, dude, the NHL is like number 4 of the 4 professional American sports leagues. How are they expanding before us? Then the NBA will do it. And then Major League Baseball will finally getting around to expanding to a couple cities. And then the NFL will do it. Now, 34 is a weird number, but, you know, Mercutio, these are my fucking headphones, man. You're such a dick.
For those listening, people keep saying that Mac is wearing his daughter's headphones.
Yeah,
they're just white. In all fairness, they're just white,
and they're perfect for what I need. And I'm not going out and spending it. Like, Jason and I aren't rolling in the dough yet. We haven't made our $11 bajillion to put our NBA team in Rosarito. When we do that, I'll get new headphones. All right,
dude. Do you know how fucking amazing that would be to have a team down here, and all the wonderful traffic I'd have to deal with?
Oh man, it'd be great.
I'm still buzzing about the NFL trying to get a team in Tijuana, because that does make a lot of sense since there's a stadium there already,
dude. And that's the thing, that makes a lot more sense than put one in Mexico City. It's just the altitude itself is gonna just murder ball.
And the distance, you can't just drive down there. In Tijuana, I can't remember the name of it, megalopolis, because Tijuana and San Diego are kind of all part of a massive metropolis.
Yeah.
Movement is better than people think when it comes to cats that work on the other side of the border and not just expats that live over here. So to open that up, I don't know what it would look like, because you're also talking about there's already like a kind of an infrastructure around that area too, of like nice restaurants and hotels.
Yeah, but you know, they're going to be dealing with the same thing Brook Park is going to be dealing with as the Browns move out to the burbs, right? There's not going to be enough roads. You know, there's going to have to be some kind of highway infrastructure.
You can't. I don't even know. You'd have to destroy downtown, and I don't see that happening. Yeah. You could just drive in. Like, look, it's a city. Ultimately, I don't know if you could walk there, but the amount of people that walk across the border.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, I mean, I think that naturally makes more sense than Mexico City.
Yeah.
You know, I could also see the NFL doing what the NBA is doing in Europe and, you know, Central and South America as American football picks up. Why would we put the money forward? Because, you know, they're still gun shy about what happened in NFL Europe. We'll just put together, we'll slap the NFL on it and just use existing teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Adam Silver is going to do. Like, if you think that the current basketball structure in Europe is going to last more than another year or two, you're wrong. Silver's going to dangle the giant bag of gold he's got, and all the top teams in Europe will end up playing in NBA Europe. You know?
So just move the Clippers to, again, they were in San Diego for they start as the San Diego Clippers. Just move them to Tijuana then, is that what you're saying?
Oh, bro, I would just like, this is your punishment, Steve Ballmer. We just started NBA Europe. You're in the European division now. You know, just make
That would
those guys.
suck. Having a European, I can see people be like, "Oh, this is cool," but the travel would suck.
Yeah, it would suck.
It would be
ass.
a fucking nightmare.
Home games in LA, but you got to fly to fucking Barcelona.
Yeah, dude, that sounds cool, but it's like you can't do it with basketball.
Yeah, can
There's
you
too many
imagine that?
games.
Okay, so, all right, Steve, you've got 41 away games. What we're gonna do is put you up in a hotel in Europe for 2 months. Okay, you're just gonna knock them all out at once.
Like that's how you'd have to do it. There's no way in the world those guys could fly back and forth 15 hours.
Yeah, dude, that would be fucking miserable.
Or put a team in Toronto. I mean, there's a team in Toronto, Vancouver again.
Yeah, Connor, the NFL is talking heavily about putting a team in London. That's
not that far of a flight if you live in New York.
No, and the thing is, if they finally pull the trigger on that, it'll be Jacksonville moving to London because that's where Shad Khan wants to be. He doesn't want to be in Jacksonville, Florida.
I can't put a team in Havana. That'd be awesome. Then you really wouldn't have to worry about travel at all. Does Havana even have its own time zone, or is it on the Eastern time zone?
No, it's on Eastern time zone. You know, that'd be great though. You can call them like the Cigarellos or some shit like that. Just have like
the fucking Havana Revolution or something.
Oh God, fucking! Can you see Goodell just like, oh,
Trump won't let it happen.
Fucking like one of the Castro kids is like, we collectively own this team. You know,
Oh,
he's just like,
yeah.
oh no, not again.
You could have just dealt with Hong Kong. No, you couldn't have.
Does Singapore need a team? Can we do? We can't do Singapore. Okay.
You know, Dr. Claw made a good point. He says, much like college football, the NFL doesn't need to be outside the states.
Yes, Claw, you are absolutely right. But here's the thing: with your sport being dominant in one country and one country only, with no chance for like the Cuban castrators, that'd be rough. You just have like a tiny like guillotine with a dick in it as the logo.
The Cuban with the little Castro hand.
Yeah. But global growth is going to continue to drive NBA growth. It's going to continue to drive NHL growth. It's going to continue to drive Major League Baseball growth, right? Like the World Baseball Classic, which I thought would never be very popular, is actually very popular. You know, the NFL is trying. You know, they're putting together, like they've put together the World Cup of American football, and it's full of a lot of like NAIA players and D3 players, and they lost to Japan in the last one. So, like, and I don't know if you guys know, but the Japan's X League, which is American football, is like ridiculously popular in Japan. And it's probably one of the better like non-American leagues on the globe. So, I mean, make partnerships. Like if I were the NFL and I want to grow the game, like there's been a big split in European football. The European League of Football literally lost like 8 teams to a competitor, like a competing league. So like start bankrolling shit like that. You know, you don't have to put the NFL shield on stuff, you know, but you can prop up the game in places where they're trying to grow it, you know. And I'll tell you right now, the European League has some very cool names, like the Helvetic Mercenaries.
But you know, I was talking about this with Bert Cooper earlier today about American soft power, and for a long time, American culture was its greatest export in terms of soft power. Right now, American culture, probably since the late 90s, and if you guys haven't read Ross Bennis's book, 1999, the year of low culture dominated America, I think it's called. It's a really interesting kind of look back at that time. And I think that's still the culture that we're stuck in. I mean, we really have the president right now comes out of that late 90s love of the anti-hero kind of thing, because he comes out of pro wrestling, which really got ramped up in the 90s with the Monday Night Wars with WCW and WWE. So from a diplomatic standpoint, you would think that American sports, which are still big, right?
Yeah.
I always joke about, and I am mildly serious about the amount of people that I see playing basketball and football here. Of course, baseball. There is baseball fields here dedicated to baseball. No expats because they're all retirees, so they're not.
Yeah, I mean, the Mexican League is there's a ton of major league players that play in the Mexican League.
It's a big deal. So that's part of the exporting of soft power. But the I guess the bigger question I have is that moment done for that kind of expansion because of the end of soft power, which really is Trump 2.0 with the end of things like USAID?
Yeah. I think there's some truth to that, right? Like USAID started passing out sports shit in Japan at the end of World War II, right?
And it worked.
Yeah. Right.
We got some great players. You got Ichiro.
We gave them, we introduced baseball, they introduced anime. Like that was a trade-off, right? Now you got to look at, I mean, dude, even Vietnam has a professional baseball league now, right? Something that you wouldn't have found 40 years ago. There's growth in the sport. If there's a big enough portion of the population that enjoys it, there's going to be somebody with money that creates a league, right? I'm a huge rugby fan. I'm watching the slow death of Major League Rugby here in the United States. They went from 10 teams, they're down to 5 now. Because there wasn't a big enough portion of the population that was wanting to support it. But I really believe if someone's got money and they see kids are into it and they see there's potential to continue to make money, they'll start leagues, man, But I mean, as far as sports growth because of American soft power, like, I mean, it's very kind of cool to hate everything American now. If you're not from the States,
we're just not the dominant culture. If you
No.
think about the most watched animation movie, I think China released it last year. Even down here, there's young people that kind of try to dress like anime characters. We're just not the culture importer anymore or exporter anymore that we were for decades. And sports wise, as you know, even in Fayetteville, I'm sure there's a lot of people playing football.
Oh yeah,
football.
I mean, there's a reason that soccer is the fastest growing sport in the United States, right? Like when EPL finally cracked the American nut, right? And we saw the growth of MLS, which struggled for probably, I'd say, the first 12 to 15 years of its existence. And you saw the growth of people watching EPL, and then MLS started gaining steam. It didn't sound the death knell for American football. All right. But we saw, yes, sorry, Red. I'm going to wear my headphones everywhere now. But, we saw a way for something to actually compete with it. Right. And I'm not just talking at the professional level, but at like high school and peewee, because like where I live, more kids play soccer than football.
Yeah.
Like the town I live in Hope Mills, which is right outside of Fayetteville, they don't even have a city football, like a city peewee league. It's soccer though. It's baseball and soccer. Those are the two things they really go all out for, but it's just, there's also the safety issues with American football, right? But I also counter that with rugby's a rough sport and has like a quarter of the concussion issues that American football has because they tackle properly. And Zahir, I mean, I don't know if you know this, Zahir, there's a higher rate of concussions and CTE in football than there is in rugby because of headers. They're realizing that. So in a lot of youth leagues, they don't allow people to kids to do headers. But so like I think it's important that America isn't the dominant cultural force on the planet anymore. I think that's important, right? Because American shit, whether it's military power or soft power, kind of just subsumes whole cultures for many, many years. And I think variety is good. Cultural variety is good. So like I don't know, man. Like I think there's definite growth for American sports overseas. Like do not get me wrong. I just think it has to be done with a local flavor. Right? I think that's how you make it stick. And that's why we failed for so long with soccer. That's why we're failing with rugby in both rugby league and rugby union. And hopefully we can unfuck that, because the Rugby World Cup is going to be shared. It's going to be in the US and Canada for the next one. So,
I mean, also that's an Australian export that just still had never caught on.
Rugby started in England.
Okay. Where did they put those good rugby players, though?
A lot of them come from Ireland and England.
Wow. I get it that you have Irish heritage.
Many of them come from New Zealand and Australia. And keep in mind,
all the good ones.
Australia has their own like weird football.
Aussie we all had to watch it in the early days of ESPN.
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
Before they had 15 ESPNs, when all ESPN had was like billiards tonight.
Here on ESPN 2, for the 4:00 hour, we have Australian rules football. The good day mates against the Wombats.
Yes, the early days of ESPN was like, here we are live at the 1985 Denver, Colorado Spelling Bee.
Yeah. I mean, people forget that ESPN literally stands for the Entertainment Sports Network. Eric, every so often they bust out ESPN, the Ocho, as like a fun gimmicky thing for a weekend. The Good Day Mates sound like a labor Zionist party in Australia. Oh, man. Oh, that was another one too, Robert. You're right. Strongman competitions, like World's Strongest Man, was always on ESPN 8 or ESPN. Always. Just watching him pick up big rocks and shit. All right.
Telephone poles.
Okay. So can we just say we already had 2 firings in college football this week?
Were you surprised by either of them?
No. Brent Pry was way overmatched at Virginia Tech. I mean, they've kind of been falling off since the last few years of the Frank Beamer, stint, and then Deshaun Foster. I felt horrible for, because he's a Bruins legend, and he comes into one of the shittiest situations. Like, you're not playing in the Pac-12 anymore; you're in the Big Ten. You've got a school that is so over budget, they just stopped, providing weights for players. It's bad when Chip Kelly's like, you know what, I'm quitting to be the head coach so I can go be an offensive coordinator. That's not exactly a great endorsement of where your program's at. Now, Virginia Tech's in a much better situation to get like a good head coach, right? And I think they're going to spend money to get like an established name, because after the Fuente fiasco, after the Brent Pry, who just didn't look like he knew how to coach at all, they had all that success under Frank Beamer. They're going to want to get back there, right? UCLA, I think, is going to have a much harder time like getting anybody like a name to come out and coach there, because it's not just like, hey, you're in LA, you're in one of the college, high school football hotbeds. Kids don't want to go to UCLA anymore. They don't. UCLA's NIL game is pretty weak. When you look at facilities, they're not that great. And a lot of people are saying the Rose Bowl is just like an outdated stadium that kids students don't want to go to.
The stadium's pretty empty, and no longer do kids want to stay in state. And kids don't have a problem. Like Nico, for example, he's from Southern California and went all the way to Knoxville. I don't know if you ever spent time in Knoxville. It's not the thriving metropolis.
Okay, first off, I would rather get an erection and slam my dick in a door multiple times than go to Tennessee.
The whole state? Even Memphis?
Memphis I can do for a day or two, and then I have to leave.
I like Memphis.
I like Memphis too, but the problem with Memphis is it's full of a bunch of people from Tennessee. I don't like that. So, but with that being said, right? It didn't help UCLA move into the Big Ten. It did not. I don't know why they were like, well, if USC is doing it, we should go too. Just keep your ass in the Pac-12. You could be beating up on Texas State right now, but instead, you're like, let me follow this paycheck, and it's gonna fix everything, and it hasn't, and it's not going to. So it's
it's pretty heartbreaking because I think you and I both wanted to see Nico succeed going back home. We wanted to see Deshaun Foster succeed, and it's been really bad when New Mexico just brings the wood.
Dude, New Mexico fucking smacked them around.
UNLV. Right? Oof.
Dude, when you are getting manhandled by Mountain West teams, like, that's all I'm saying, dude. I wonder who's got more buyer's remorse right now than Nico. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a transfer player right now that is having more regrets than Nico.
Because Joey Aguilar, if you've watched Tennessee play, he that team is so loaded that you really can throw some balls up in the air like three flies up.
Yeah.
And one of your receivers is coming down with it.
But you know what? I give Aguilar a lot of credit, though, because he's looked good in every game Tennessee's played. He's smart with the ball. I don't want to say he's more athletic than Nico, but what he is more mobile. Like, he knows how to get away from pressure and extend a play, where Nico, like, you got to think, you're transferring to UCLA, which isn't known for having a robust offensive line at this time, right? You should know in your head already, I need to be moving left and right in order to stay away from the pressure from the front four, and so I can get the ball downfield. Nico just stays in the pocket, man, and he's been taking a beating. I honestly would not be surprised to see both brothers transferring out of UCLA after the season. I don't know if you saw, but the NCAA has eliminated the spring portal. So now there's just the winter portal now. You know,
speaking of portal, did you see the kid that sent the plays and the game plan to the other team on his way out when he transferred?
No.
It was two small schools. I'll have to look up what schools.
Oh, wow.
He was so mad when he left. He screenshotted to one of his, like, the other players. He was like, these are all the checks on defense. Our strong safety has a hurt hamstring.
Dude, he got fucking petty.
Oh, he literally sent the plays. He sent the formation. He goes, and these are the checks. These are what the checks mean. So every time that defense was on the field, they were like, because I guess they interviewed him, like, yeah, they had checks for every time, every formation we tried to come in. They were calling all these checks, and they were calling our defenses out. And so the school sent an apology because he transferred to a bigger school. I want to say he's transferred to Purdue. So these were like small schools.
Oh, man. So he probably went from like FCS to FBS.
No. They were D1, but they were just small D1s.
Well, FCS is D1.
But you know what I mean. He went to he didn't go to Dartmouth.
Wait, he didn't. D1? No. He didn't go to the College of the Tennessee River Valley.
There's so many of those FCS schools that have moved up. I'm like, wait a minute. Who is still FCS? Like App State and all those schools.
App State's in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, like all these schools that weren't.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think, we had 2 move up this season. That was Missouri State and Delaware.
Yeah, Delaware for years was not FBS.
Yeah. The Blue Hens, baby.
But
I appreciate that level of pettiness. Like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm out. You know.
Let me look up. Oh God.
Fuck you, coach. Fuck you. I'm gonna screw up your whole weekend.
I just watched something. I thought I sent it to you, but I guess I didn't.
Dude, it's been a fucking week, homie. Like it's been. I'm getting crushed at work. I hate it. Like I miss the days when I could go and like drink after work sometimes because I'm just tired of dealing with these fools. But yeah. Red, Bryce Underwood looked good. I think this kid's gonna be good. He's just a freshman. He's 18, man. Like there's gonna be those games where he looks like he's got the yips, but he's just learning it. I was shocked at all the trouble Ohio State had with Ohio. They really put it on him in the fourth quarter, but Ohio kept it close. Someone already brought up Tennessee looked good against Georgia, and the kicker fucked it up for him.
That was a good game. That was one of the few good games. This is that kind of college football has this thing where they're like, we're coming out of the gate with all the big games, and then week 2 is all the teams that lost those big games have to blow out.
I'm shocked that Notre Dame has lost both games, but they're still somehow ranked in the top 25. I don't know how that works.
So on the screen, I found the story.
Okay.
A Memphis football team appears to have a mole. Taj Rael, who sounds like one of Superman's brothers, a former player who has since transferred to Purdue, has been accused of sabotaging the Tigers by sending photos of their playbook to an opposing quarterback before a game last season. Instagram messages obtained by Tiger Sports Report allegedly show Rael, who exited the program in October, sending a picture of the Memphis playbook along with other information to UTSA, that's University of Texas, San Antonio. Owen McCown, who you know as the son of, just look at that face.
Oh yeah, that's Luke. It's Josh McCown's kid.
Yeah, Josh McCown's kid.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, here you go. Though that's all the signals. Laughing, crying emojis. Far leftist coverages. I'll send you better lists showing you the call, but they run quarters and none of they safeties can cover. By the way. No reroutes on the slot. The field safety is the weakest link in the defense. His hamstring hurting, but he running out of eligibility. So when you play him, he number 0. Bet, but let me know if they cut your stuff. I'll put in a word. Look, the king of petty Negroes. Our king.
Dude, that is brutal. And the thing is, the way he just torched all his old teammates.
I believe this text exchange more than I believe the text exchange between the kid that shot Charlie Kirk and his alleged roommate. Hello, father. I'm writing from.
I'm writing you from the plains of Utah.
From where I've left my rifle, I need to retrieve it.
I had to abscond.
It has been a fortnight since I felt your loving touch.
It feels quite odd to be separated from my firearm. Although old-fashioned in function, the barrel does not foul and fires rounds straight and true.
I fear I may have run afoul of the law.
Please, Father, if you can, a small parcel with some food in it.
Jason making this kid out to having his text sound like Civil War correspondence in a kid.
Dude, Mercutio, some of the best work on Twitter before it just imploded was this dude starting an account where it was like Sergeant Major Miles, and it would be recounting Myles Garrett his games, but writing as he was like fighting in the Civil War.
Civil War.
Yeah. And like Jason, they photoshopped a picture of him in like this Union like
in a Civil War fit,
yeah,
buff.
Bro, can you imagine if Myles Garrett was like in the first Black Regiment in the Civil War? All those Southerners are like, God damn.
Like when I saw that, they're like, so there's this real. I think it is a very far right channel. It's called Law and Crime, and they were like, we have the first ever footage of the alleged suspect killer.
Yeah.
In the Charlie Kirk assassination. And here we have the text. And I was like, you believe this bullshit? Like, there's no way you think young people text like you have two young people that you love.
Oh God, dude, they do not text like that.
Father.
And the thing is, like, if it's really a text exchange between him and like his partner or his roommate, whatever it is, right? Yeah, that was great too, Claw. That was awesome. When they did it for Andrew Luck too. I think Andrew Luck might have been the first account they did it for, and it kind of spread into other ones. Like, yeah, if this is like you're somebody romantically linked with or somebody you're just hooking up with, you're not talking to each other like that.
Like who?
Right.
The two 22-year-olds, all of us that are like entrenched in online culture.
Yeah.
Hey, fascist catch.
Yeah.
All of a sudden is my beloved.
Yeah.
A moment without you and the thought of the prison cell, cold and unforgiving.
My dear Emily, these four walls are made an even worse prison without your presence.
I don't believe that text conversation, but you know which one I do believe? I believe this one.
Oh yeah, just dude, he's like, you know what? Fuck Memphis. I'm on my way out anyway. I wasn't getting enough playing time. You know what? I didn't like the defensive players to begin with. Fuck them. Yo, McCown. Hey, know you're playing Memphis this week. What's up, dude? Go. What's up, bro?
Look. Yeah. Emojis. Look, but LMK, let me know if they cut your stuff. I'll put in a word. I don't even know what cut your stuff means. Maybe he gets cut from Purdue. The bottom line is that's kind of how most people, not just young people text each other.
Dude, it's brevity code. I dealt with it all the time in the military. Like, you didn't think it was going to trickle down into the rest of the world? You know, if it takes me 13 seconds to type out every word and it only costs me, it takes me 5 to put LMK, like put in a word for you. Like, come on, man.
Wait a minute. I'm not going to put it on the screen because this show will the show will come down and I will definitely get arrested when I try to cross the borders.
Yes.
But dude, can you, in your mind, read what Virtuoso just wrote? I cannot read it aloud. I want to.
If Jimmy Kimmel is getting fucking suspended indefinitely for like the weak shit that he said, we are definitely not saying that on air.
No. They have taken down shows for much worse. If they take down a Ben Burgess Philosophy for the People episode, they're definitely going to take down this dick and fart show.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
Jesus. Yeah, McRubs. That's, you know what? Comment of the year.
Yeah.
Comment of the year.
I mean, we could put it in the Patreon, but
that is it. Look, that's pretty funny.
That was really funny.
Jesus. Have you ever seen something that's so funny and mean? You just do this. You just grab your nose, the ridge of your nose with your 2 fingers. Just
Oh, yeah. Dude, that has been me
Ooh.
at work since this whole thing happened. And like they yelled at me because I was like, why are we making him out to be like some kind of savior when he was a podcaster? I was like, I too have a show that I do with my friend. They're not dropping the flags to have staff for us if something happens.
No.
You know, like
I don't want to waste time talking about a dude that I never wasted time talking about when they lived. But just this is if people I saw this is a text conversation between two 20-year-olds.
If all you people that are like, but look, go read this story and see how like young people text each other, right? And then compare it, and then you can be like, okay, this is fucking fake. Okay, like that's
first they came for Jimmy Kimmel.
First they came for Colbert, and then they went after Kimmel. And then there was nobody left to make horrible late night TV.
Dude. See? Dr. Claw. This is look how I text a friend about football and video game.
Yeah.
It's there's a way people communicate with their thumbs.
Yeah.
And the
see
the
this
quill written fucking love letters. Did you do it? Did you do the awful thing that I shall not mention?
Excuse me, Jayla. May I have a feather pen, some ink, and some good paper, if you will. I have a mind to put my thoughts down.
Nuri says, what is the point of the fake messages? Surely they would have made them more left-wing. Nuri, I don't know how much time you spent in the United States of America, but there's a movie that you should watch called Heathers. And in that movie, Christian Slater and Winona Ryder accidentally on purpose kill bullies, and then they write fake suicide notes. When they kill 2 jocks, they write this suicide note, and what does Winona Ryder say? No one's going to believe this. So-and-so missed this word in English, and they're not that smart. And Christian Slater pulls out a Perrier and goes, once they see this water in the state of Ohio, they won't care about the letter. And what happens?
Yeah. Yep. That Jason is a very well thought out explanation.
You know those people. Hey man, look at what he wrote. Goddamn lefty. Probably loves Joe Biden.
You know what we got to say about Biden down here? Fuck Joe Biden.
And when I say down here, I just mean Cincinnati.
Also known as Northern Kentucky.
Also, when I say down here, I mean Bakersfield.
Also, when I say down here, I mean Humboldt County, California.
I mean Ithaca, motherfucker.
Oh man, God. All right, let's talk about football before I get depressed or get like say something, get the show pulled.
You cannot monetize the show.
You know, like, oh, dude, Zahir, that's what Jason and I are going for. Just he and I, like the chairs are tilted in. We're almost knee to knee. You know, Jason pulls out a pipe. You know, obviously no tobacco in it. He just likes it for the aesthetic. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Once again, it's Wednesday evening. And my co-host, my friend, my confidant, Mac here. We are here to bring you Beyond the Red Zone. We're going to talk about all the comings and goings, the shenanigans, the excitement of the week that was American football at both the professional and collegiate levels.
I want a pipe now so bad.
Now, Mac, My good friend, indubitably you watched the Ohio State University play on the gridiron this weekend, did you not? Oh, I did, Jason. I did. An immaculate effort, once again, by the Ohio State defense. Matt Patricia looks fierce out there on the sideline, doesn't he? With his backward cap and his pencil shoved in right in front of his ear. Oh, you cannot draw up a better Saturday for this head-to-head competition.
Dude.
Mac, would you say that these men acted as gladiators did in the arena in ancient Rome? Oh, Jason, I would. Just the pure ferocity that they displayed on every play. Oh my God, dude. So, Mac, I know you've been on Instagram lately. Have you been watching the reels of these lengthy buttocked ladies? I tell you now, they give me a stirring in my loins.
Switching topics a bit.
Mac, we have a special guest today. Jason, who is it? It's our good friend, Dr. Torrey Reed. And he just walks in like, what the fuck is wrong with both of you?
Someone said this is some fan fiction red zone right here. I have been sending you videos that aren't of the thirst trap variety.
No. We've been getting some breaking down a fight, which I appreciate.
I've been sending you some fight breakdown. There's two people I send that to, and it's the only two people that I know that have actually fought, and that's you and Bert.
Yeah.
The Crawford fight. You were texting me from the Crawford fight.
Oh, dude.
Which one I did not go watch because I'm not stupid enough to go out and get my ass kicked.
But the undercard was phenomenal. Right? It was phenomenal.
Everyone said the undercard was phenomenal.
Yeah. Undercard was, dude, it was amazing. I watched two super middleweights, guys that fought at 168. Sit in the pocket. And if you're not a fight fan, sitting in the pocket is literally when you're forehead to forehead with your opponent, just wailing on each other. You usually do that for 2 or 3 rounds, then you get your distance, throw your jab, get your timing, start working the body. These two guys stayed in the pocket for 10 fucking rounds, Jason. 10 rounds, just forehead to forehead, beating the piss out of each other.
Speaking of fighters that fought in the pocket, rest in peace to Ricky Hatton.
Yeah, Ricky, that poor dude, he had it rough after he retired. And the thing is, when he passed, he was training to get back in the ring. That's what kind of threw me off. I was like, dude, this is a big mistake. But yeah, definitely. Rest in peace, Ricky. He was one of my favorites. But I'll tell you right now, Bud Crawford put on a clinic. I'll tell you, I don't think Canelo's been hit that hard in a long time. Right?
The punch that everybody saw where he spins around is like, oh.
Yeah. The thing was, Canelo was a large fighter at 147 when he first started. He was a large fighter at 154 when he moved up and became a phenomenal junior middleweight. He was a shorter but still powerful middleweight. And this is where we start seeing him taking his long layoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only fighting, once a year. And he's not fighting names anymore at this point. So when he took this fight against Bud, and Virtuoso, I'm with you. Fernando Vargas Jr. just looked fucking lost in the ring. He looks exactly like his father with hair, which really threw me off. And it made me feel really old that I'm watching Fernando Vargas Jr. 18 fights into his professional career. But I thought Callum did what he was supposed to do against him. But Canelo is a small super middleweight. Like, he's only 5'8". He's as tall as I am, right? And he's always had pop, but you've seen him kind of lose that because he's fighting bigger guys. Like, when he moved up to light heavyweight to try and win a portion of the light heavyweight title, Jason, I thought that was a fucking mistake, because the Eastern Europeans that fight at like light heavyweight and cruiser and heavy, they're giants, man. They're like 6'2", 6'3", and taller. You know, they're going to make weight, but they walk around at like 20, 25 pounds over, and they rehydrate like nobody's business, right? Oh, Red, I agree with you. Fucking Bud putting on 21 pounds and moving up.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Weight.
And the thing is, he didn't look like he put on any weight. That's what I was impressed with. He still came out, Jason, fucking like chiseled. Like, I don't know if like,
and Bud Crawford's about 5'7", 5'8" too, right?
He's I think he's 5'9", right? So he's not the tallest guy, but the thing is, his reach is ridiculous. Like, Netflix is still working out the kinks of covering live sports, but I'm pretty sure when Bud took the robe off, like 13,000 pairs of panties flew at him, you know? But Bud was smart keeping him at distance. Virtuoso said it just 100%. He loads up on these power shots. Like, you could tell he's getting ready to throw them. And all Bud would do was circle away, throw a jab, circle away, throw a jab, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wore Canelo down. Halfway through that fight, Canelo looked gassed. And that's probably the first time I've ever seen him look like that, right? And by the 9th round, I was like, Canelo does not have this. He can't get back in it. He's not landing enough punches. He's not being an aggressor, because I think after Bud kind of picked him apart with the jab and started working his body, and when Bud would close the gap, you would see Canelo would do what I would do as a shorter guy fighting someone taller. And, Red said it best. Like, he kept trying to hit the body, but Bud was so good with how he's able to shift weight, get his elbow down and take the brunt. When Canelo would try and go for a headshot, dude, Bud just masterfully get his shoulder up. Like, Bud barely took any damage in that fight, right? Canelo took it all. And I think that's probably the reason why he said that Bud's a better fighter than Mayweather. I was kind of shocked to hear that. But when you're looking at some of the best fighters to put on gloves and get in the ring and make a living doing this, Mayweather was the standard for a lot of years. When he started having all the hand issues, and you knew it was just going to be a 12-round decision because he was so fast you couldn't hit Mayweather, like, they became very boring fights.
Mm-hmm.
Bud Crawford hasn't had a boring fight. Bud Crawford is not above getting in there and swinging. He's not above boxing a guy, to pieces. He can do it all. And on top of that, the dude's a southpaw. So, like, holy shit. This is like,
he was switching stances too during the fight.
He does all the time. Yeah.
But didn't he stay in southpaw for the majority of the fight?
Yeah, for a lot of the fight, because Canelo can't fight southpaw as well. He never has fought southpaw as well. Right? So Bud had a perfect game plan, stuck to it, and did not look phased at all.
Well, here, break this down with the breakdown.
Okay.
This was actually a pretty cool breakdown. Can you see it on the screen?
Yep.
Is not an ordinary punch. Take a look at this. Canelo drops his left hand and targets the body, but his right hand is set to confuse Crawford on whether the punch will come from the left or the right. Crawford managed to follow the sequence, but it left his head defense open because of Canelo's deceptive punch and posture. Watch as Canelo repeats the same trick. He lowers his left again, but this time he throws his right, lands it perfectly, confusing Crawford. Crawford makes an adjustment. Notice this. Instead of covering with his left hand, ducks, so he can avoid either a right cross or a right hook upstairs. Here's what happened. Canelo feints, and you can see Crawford trying to slip. As Canelo comes forward again, he uses his left to parry and fires a right cross. As expected, Crawford slips and counters with a solid left hook.
Yep. I mean, the thing is like Canelo still has pop, right? Canelo's going to go down as one of the best fighters ever. And I think we've seen that in I think he's at around 70-something fights. Like somebody in chat will let me know. I know that, right? He's literally been doing this his entire adult life. Okay. I don't think he's ever fought somebody like Bud Crawford. You know, like he's the best fighter on the planet right now. It's going to be him and Naoya Inoue from Japan, who fought the day after this. And actually went to a decision, which is something, you know, Naoya typically doesn't do because he's ridiculous. But yeah, man, I thought it was a phenomenal. It was what I wanted to see. You know, like everyone was like, oh, well, what about the knockout? I didn't need a knockout. There was no knockout. The fight wasn't boring. You know, you had two of the top fighters on the planet in the ring together finally. You know, and I think this will shake up the super middleweight division because I don't think Bud's going to go back down. You know, like he's the undisputed champ at 168. There's a lot of good money fights for him at 168. I could see like Dave Lemieux finally getting another crack. Jaime Mungaya. There's a lot of dudes at 168 where he can have some good fights. Now, as far as Canelo goes, I don't know where he goes from this. Right.
He's still too young to call it quits.
Yeah. But he's got way more fights under his belt than most fighters do. When the grandkids are downstairs playing Fortnite and grandpa's upstairs playing Tomb Raider? Jesus Christ. I want to do what the GIF's doing. Just close my laptop and walk away.
Eric W. said, Jesus, Jason. I wanted to...
Nana doesn't deserve to get railed like that, okay? She's a lady.
Oh, yeah. Shador Sanders preseason. I think Shador's going to be the next Tom Brady. I think he's going to be better than LeBron. Stop bringing up LeBron. I'm about to bust. Hey, guys.
Stop bringing up LeBron. I'm about to bust. Wow. Connor said the FCC is calling, Jay.
I saw this. I was like, I'm totally sending this to Mac. And
Dude, I died when I watched it.
Oh, you did watch this?
Yeah, I did. I like how it was Skip Bayless saying that. He's like, stop saying LeBron.
Guys, what about me? I had more yards and touchdowns on a higher completion percentage. Who the are you? Yeah, your dad's not famous. Get out of here before I get soft, you bum. Perfect snap.
I didn't understand like why TCU is the horned furries. Like, I'm like, what is it with this bit?
Kush looks says, what is going on with Jason?
Kush, it's best that we don't know.
I don't know. I need to stop
It's best
watching
that we don't know
these things. But for some reason,
Claw, really the TCU QB is a furry? Holy shit.
That's a thing?
Oh man. I mean, to each their own, you know. Yeah, it's a good thing Jason's south of the border. It's gonna be funny when Claudia Scheinbaum shows up at his apartment. She's like, "You're being extradited."
Just like, no. We saw what you were sending people, and you have to stop. No.
Nuri, it might actually be haunted or cursed.
McRub says how he built this type of algorithm.
Be studied. I mean,
I sent this to Mac.
He did send this to me. She looks like I would have fun over the night, and then my life would be hell forever after that point.
Never have a car that isn't keyed.
You know,
there's gonna be a lot of crystals in your house.
Oh, dude, yeah. And there's Eric. There we go.
I was gonna ask you a real football question.
Is it about Arch Manning?
No, not college. Oh, what gym is this? We have to keep it quiet because they're gonna take the show down because of the music. But what gym is this?
I don't know, but I feel like you and I should not be allowed near it. Because we would just like watch through the window.
It's just steam. They wouldn't even see our faces.
Yeah, just steam. Claus said, "Let me go get the glasses for a moment."
Like, what are they working on?
I mean, obviously they're glutes.
Oh, this is do these exercises even do anything?
Well, I mean, body weight motion is a great way to build like muscle.
Matt, you tried to be serious for a minute.
I mean, it's hard.
I mean, seriously, that is, you're gonna have some serious lower body strength. I don't.
Red just said that's the gym where they teach the clam slam.
They're like, bye, everybody.
Great workout.
I wouldn't suggest trying to do whatever it is they're doing.
Dude, my knees would give out if I tried to do what that woman's doing right now.
Whatever she's doing has nothing to do with lower body workouts. She's rehearsing. And I'm here for it.
This was an enjoyable video to get. Just leave it there.
But what I wanted to ask you about was the Patriots. They did beat the Dolphins in what I thought was a real exciting game. You had a punt return, and then followed by a kick return. Both teams just went for it.
Yeah.
Did it give you hope for your Patriots?
No, because they beat the Dolphins.
So you think that win is not something to build on?
I mean, every win's something to build on, right? Like that's the honest truth. Like this is a good feeling. You get the first win, of the season. It's a divisional rival, that's always that's something that you can start building some success on. But like, there's just not a lot of talent on the Patriots, right? There's not, and that's okay to say. They haven't drafted well, right? Mm-hmm. But the Dolphins are bad, man. Like I still maintain this. Mike McDonald's going to be the first coach fired. I think his shtick is kind of worn off in Miami. I don't think the players listen to him very well. I think a lot of the Miami fans are kind of over his shit, like being the cool guy on the sideline. It's like, bro, you can be a little less good or a little less cool. Can you just get Tyreek Hill to run an actual route, or maybe get an offensive lineman to block?
Yeah.
So Tua doesn't get his brain rattled again. And I'm with Connor, dude. The Dolphins are going to get fucking just annihilated by the Bills, man.
You don't think they show up? It's a big game.
Dude, yeah, but I mean, the Athletic was like, listen, Kansas City is not like out, but like the AFC looks like it's going to run through Buffalo this year. Like, let's be honest, right? Like it really is. Buffalo is a very good team.
Yes.
They've got a lot of talent. They've really plugged a lot of the holes on defense. They're getting a lot of production from the wide receivers, which they haven't really had since, Diggs, got hurt. Oh, dude, I agree, Red, 100%. The Dolphins might be the worst team. And I'm not just talking like on-field, performance. I'm talking like talent-wise. Everybody's like, but they got Tyreek Hill. And then what? What else do they have?
Raheem Mostert.
I don't even think he's on the roster right now.
Yeah, he played.
Okay, so and they have Ashane, which is a very good.
Yeah,
A-Chain. Okay,
maybe it was A-Chain that played. I lied. Maybe it's A-Chain. I'm getting confused. Yeah,
he's a phenomenal running back, but there's no one to block for him right now. So it's like, it's a bad team, man. And it just looks like he's lost control of his locker room. Like he tried to be the cool guy because Brian Flores was kind of a hard ass. Yeah, I mean, that's what he does, Mercutio. You're like, Max running his mouth about some nonsense about the Dolphins. I'm going to go grab some. Oh, Jason put ass on the screen, like
the view count goes up when those things come on, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It like hits something in the algorithm and then they go, oh, we have to watch this sports show that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But like, I feel for Tua, man, because like he's getting shellacked every weekend right now. And like his brain is only half functioning as it is. God damn it, Jason.
What? Is this what Tua's brain sees in the middle of a play?
Tua's brain is probably as smooth as that dress around her ass right now, man.
It's just
it's just for a kid that has that talent and has shown that he can play ball, he's not being put into enough position to be successful. That is too much bum Newry. That might be a hot Cheeto. Jesus Christ. Oh, dude, Claw, I was thinking the same thing about the GIF. Just
is JJ McCarthy what we've been saying JJ McCarthy is?
Yes. I mean, the fucking thing about JJ McCarthy.
Damn, you took off your hat. You were so fucking.
he didn't look that good in college. He looks lost in the pros, but he has these snippets of like, I can play ball, right? But is this what you want to? Holy shit! I did not see that one. You are not looking her in the face at all if you ever meet her.
Episode of Cake Boss. Kushla says another episode of Cake Boss. We have to have a show called Cake Boss.
Yeah,
or at least a segment called Cake
Boss.
Yeah, this one does look AI enhanced. This could be
it does.
AI. You fooled me this time, AI.
But like, is JJ McCarthy who you want to build a franchise around when you're like that close?
Is this the arrogance of these young coaches that come in as the wonderkind? Oh, he's the offensive genius. He turns everybody that works under him into this fine-tooled masterpiece, because nobody thought they should keep Sam Darnold. Everybody felt, regardless of what was going to happen at the end of the year, kind of like the same thing that happened with Nick Foles.
Well,
everyone knew
Minnesota just got tired of paying for your flights out there to dick down his wife.
To treat his wife like the Cake Boss.
Yeah, Baby, I know there's no cake there, but I'm going to make do.
I'm on a diet. I'm trying to. I got diabetes, so too much sugar. So this bit of what you have is fine. It's a low-calorie cake thing.
Mrs. Darnold, I'm here to devour your flapjacks.
I'm talking like the kid in the fake text message.
When the Seahawks fly Jason up there, he's just gonna show up in a Union like captain's uniform. Hello, my dear.
I have awaited several nights. Mac, this is you. Wait.
But like, yeah, I they jettison Darnold, right? They get rid of Kirk Cousins. And I get the Cousins thing. Like you're having a guy in his late 30s come back from an Achilles injury. He's not what you want. Darnold played phenomenal in the regular season and kind of shit the bed in the playoffs. I get that, but why not run it back with him? Right?
He's still young.
Yeah, and like I make fun of Sam Darnold all the time, but when you look at the dearth and how important it is now of having a backup quarterback, right? The Bengals are the primary case of you have to have a good backup now. You can't just have a guy that just holds a clipboard anymore. He's got to be ready to go if he's called on, right? But it's not like we're busting out Josh McCown after he's played for his 12th team and he comes out and like lights it on fire for that one game. And then the next 4, he throws a grand total of like 16 interceptions and 4 touchdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
That hasn't been Darnold's game. But then you jettison him and you're like, we're going to go with JJ. Okay, a dude who missed his entire rookie season because of injury. And then a dude who didn't really show flashes of being an NFL quarterback in college.
And he's injured again.
Yeah. You know, I think there is something to be said of your point, though. These young, wonderkind offensive minds that are de rigueur right now, right? That every franchise has to have. I can make it work, right? Like it's kind of a bravado that led to like Trey Lance being drafted when he only played in like 3 college games. You know, you know, he's great. You know, he was at North Dakota State. COVID interrupted everything. I get that, right? But he still doesn't have enough game film. You don't know what you're getting from this kid, right? JJ McCarthy had a lot of game film to show us he doesn't really throw the ball that well. He's more of a game manager. Like if I'm a franchise, I'm looking at JJ McCarthy as like, we might be able to get a spot start from him. And he's young. We can keep him on the roster for a long time, right? Mm-hmm. That's how I look at it. He's not a guy I'm trying to build around. And you are wasting prime years of a wideout like Justin Jefferson.
Are we going to get back to the point that we were in when we were coming up watching the game in the 80s, where it was like, if you have a young quarterback, it's going to take about 5 years? Because we saw the Bears get rid of Justin Fields. Again, another guy that got hurt. Quite a few quarterbacks went down with injury. It looks like for some time. We don't know how long Brock Purdy is going to be out. His replacement, another former first-round pick, Mac Jones, who sadly was supposed to be the heir apparent to Tom Brady. That's a hard role to step into. There's a lot of just nonsense going on with that team. He suffers. He goes to a few teams.
Well, he went to Jacksonville. Yeah, they traded him to Jacksonville.
I think he landed in the perfect spot in San Francisco.
Playing for Kyle Shanahan? Fuck yes.
And he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
In the Niners win. And regardless of how long Purdy is going to be out for, you have a guy that has won as a starter in the NFL, and he can guide the ship until Purdy gets back.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. He's got weapons around him in San Francisco. He doesn't have to be the guy to go out there and throw the ball 40 times.
No, but if you need him to, I think
he can do it, right? And I think I've been pleasantly surprised by Ricky Pearsall, right, stepping up, to be like the second wideout option. So like the Niners are in good shape, even with Purdy out. Like you just got to tread water until Purdy comes back.
The NFC West is kind of stacked.
Yeah,
and no one wanted to admit that.
The only team I think that's going to be easy to kick around is going to be the Cardinals, right?
Like, they're 2-0 right now.
Yeah, dude, this is the Cardinals. They find a way to start pulling, defeat from the jaws of victory and do Cardinals things.
I would love to see Murray and Harrison become a real formidable combo.
Oh, dude, I don't want to see teams fail, right? Because I want to watch good football every week, right? I don't want to get stuck watching the fucking Panthers every Sunday.
Well, that's another team. Didn't Bryce get hurt, or am I tripping?
Mm-mm.
He just played really bad.
He looked horrible. And my brother brought up a good point. He's like, it's the weight of expectations. Last year, after he comes back from the benching, there's no expectations. The Panthers are awful, right? He just went out there and played football. And now, because he played so well at the end of the season, the 6 Panthers fans out there, including my brother, had the expectations.
Is he one of these young guys that's just too in his head? He's too kind of concerned about the comments that are circulating around him at all times, probably his stat line.
I don't know if it's the stat line, but I think he's a dude that pays attention to what assholes say on the internet.
I could see that.
Right? Like, he's a younger dude. A lot. I mean, younger people do. They give a shit about what people like put on Instagram and X and whatever else, right? And that is gonna fuck with your confidence when you just have a bunch of people saying you just suck dick for beer money all the time, right? Now, he's got the talent to be good. Granted, the team is bad. The Panthers aren't good. They need to really spend some money and draft smart and develop offensive linemen, which is an issue all around the league right now. Like, let's be honest, the positions that we're finding the hardest to find that are to be plug and play are offensive linemen now, right? I think that it's going to get worse before it gets better, because I don't see another Dante Scarnecchia coming out of the woodwork anytime soon to share this is how you develop O linemen, right? With so many teams playing out of the spread and playing more wide open. And granted, the NFL does do that to a certain extent. It's just not as much as it is at the college level, right? So when you close everybody's gaps on the offensive line and they're playing more, close at the heel, and there's not as much space for them to kind of drop back and pass protection, it fucks with your game. And how many teams have we seen really swing on offensive linemen and miss a lot in the last 5 or 10 years? There's been quite a few, but I think it'll eventually work itself out. That comes with coaching and player development, right? So the teams that spend a lot of money on that are going to be more successful, right? And that's why you continue to see doormat teams like the Cardinals, right, not have a lot of success. They'll have great wideouts. They'll have, the can't miss quarterback prospect, but there's nobody in front of them to block. That's always going to be an issue.
Speaking of offensive line woes, there's another quarterback that people are already writing off in year 2. And the reason why I mention people like Mac Jones and Justin Fields and Sam Darnold is because those guys are from the last few years of these can't miss quarterbacks that everybody's so high on because it is the glamour position in the NFL. And they were given no time to develop, and they went to very bad teams. And in Justin Fields' case, his last year in Chicago, where you're seeing some promise, he gets traded.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, I feel like, is Justin Fields 2.0 in that regard, where there's just too much pressure on him by himself to win in a place where they've never really had great quarterback play, and they've always had it's always been a complicated relationship with the coaches and the quarterbacks. From Ditka to Lovie Smith, insert coach here.
Yeah.
What do you think of Caleb Williams? They took a beating by a very good Detroit Lions team. Let's not get it twisted. The Lions are very, very good.
Yeah.
What is your take on Caleb?
I mean, I look at it the same way I looked at when Fields was drafted, right? Same franchise, same like kind of horrible front office and player development, right? When you look at bad teams, the Bears, the Browns especially come to mind. They have like a standout guy, like somebody they plugged in and they just owned it. They were the best at their position for a very long time, right?
Mm.
But then they failed to develop anything behind them. Cleveland, case in point, right?
Mm.
You got a guy like Joe Thomas, who came from Wisconsin, started day one, didn't miss a game until like year 14, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Famer. And he played on some of the worst teams in professional football, you know? Cleveland never developed a real cohesive front line for the myriad number of quarterbacks that have taken snaps, right? Player development is paramount in any league, in any sport. How do we find players to play in our systems, and then do they have the athletic talent to do that? And then, but how do we help them? One, by putting them in the best situations to succeed, and two, making them better,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the teams that are dominant in their sports, the Eagles, phenomenal at identifying talent, getting it, and then developing it, right?
They didn't cut bait with Justin Hurts.
No, I think they know what they have in Hurts. They've structured the offense around Hurts. They put him in the best positions to succeed, and then bringing Saquon in only makes it easier for him to play quarterback, right? There are days where he can throw for 400 yards, but there are other games where he's like, "Fuck it, I'll throw for 150, I'll run for 50, and then Saquon will carry it, 28 times for 175 yards." All that matters to him is the W, right? It's like it's cheesy as it is. It's like what Booker T says. It's fucking paychecks and championships. Bam. That's it.
How funny was that though? That oh God, who was the defensive player for the Chiefs that was yelling at Jalen Hurts about not throwing for 100 yards?
Oh, was that Chris Jones?
Chris Jones. Yeah, it's like oh bitch, you didn't even throw for 100 yards. He's like, shut up, fool. We won the game.
Yeah.
And he's saying this as he's in what's called victory formation as they're about to down the ball. It's funny. And I think this goes back to what we've been saying about how much gambling influences the game. And I would love to know how much that influences ownership decisions. Like when someone isn't quote unquote flashy, you have a guy that just gets things done. And Jalen Hurts, wasn't he the MVP of the Super Bowl?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is Hurts knows what he can do on the field. And we've seen it over the last few years, right? Like we've seen it. He can throw for 400 yards a game, but he doesn't have to. So why would he?
Yeah.
If like he said, dude, we won. We beat you again. That is the ultimate.
A good slugfest. This was the opposite of what the Super Bowl was, where it just looked like the Chiefs were caught flat-footed. The Chiefs knew what was coming, and they couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a run late in the game, but it was kind of too late for that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. It's especially, we've talked about this before. What is the most important stat to asshole bettors and people like us? It's the W's, right?
W's.
That's the most important stat for a quarterback. Even though it's a team game, it's all about win-loss, right?
And we do have to mention this. Look, as a Bronco fan, I have to mention this. Come on, guys. There's as much of a fan as I am of my team, I'm not going to whine about the NFL and the league because they were trying to lose that game.
I don't know what's going on right now with the Broncos because, like, coming off the end of last season, I was like, they have so much momentum going into 25. And it's like, yeah, we had this momentum, but we're going to play like we did at the beginning of last season. We'll just turn it on at the end, and that's not how you want to play in the AFC West. The Chargers look phenomenal, right? You still have the Chiefs. The Raiders, I think, are going to put up more of a fight than we think.
They're 1-1. They're not 0-2.
Yeah. I mean, and again, we're 2 weeks into the season, but the Raiders still have a lot of talent development to really get behind. I think
the Broncos are young too.
Oh, dude, the Broncos are super young. These are the baby Broncos, and that's fine. And honestly, that's how you want to be. Because you want to be able to control the first 4 to 5 years of your players, right? And then the Broncos have drafted very smart, especially in the later rounds.
Mm-hmm.
The big bugaboo is you don't want to turn into Bill Belichick about that, where I don't need to hit on my first rounders because I can find a guy in the 5th. Dude, no. When you get those guys in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round that become starters, that's like icing on the cake. You don't plan a franchise around that, you know? Like that's a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I mean, the AFC West is going to be rough to get through, you know.
The Chiefs and the Chargers right now are the class of the division.
Yeah, you know, and we haven't even seen Herbert's best game, you know, in the first 2 weeks. They are, you know, San Diego's playing hardball, you know, football.
But I think this is the Herbert that you get.
Yeah.
You know who Herbert looks like to me? I don't know if you agree. Andrew Luck. Stanford Andrew Luck.
Yeah. Minus some of the mobility. I definitely agree. But you know, the thing is Harbaugh's going to get the best out of Herbert. I truly believe that, right? Give time for Keenan Allen to get kind of like folded back into that offense because this is a whole new system for him. You know, he's been gone for a little bit. Giving Herbert yet another weapon offensively is only going to help him. I think the biggest thing that San Diego is going to have to deal with is how long Khalil Mack's going to be out, because like nobody's elbow is supposed to bend that way, and he might be out a little while. And then, you know, even though he's like pushing his mid-30s and that's old in football years, he's still one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. You know, and we all know pass rush is, you know, the second most important thing on your team behind quarterback play. So, I mean, I don't think you can have the Chargers out. Like the AFC West is going to be a slog to get through this year. Like I said, I can see the Raiders playing like spoiler for, you know, like Kansas City, Denver,
I can see them
the Chargers.
Ashton Genty. I believe what Pete Carroll said about Ashton Genty in the post-game press conference when they were like, "Hey, you only had 11 carries," and he was like, "Yeah, he's a young guy. We're easing him in. I think there's something that Ashton Genty is doing that's scaring Pete Carroll, and probably it comes in on pass protection.
Well, dude, Genty got burned a couple times in pass protection in that game. I watched it. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. Geno Smith didn't look like he knew how to read a defense playing the Chargers. A lot of that scheme, you know, a lot of that is Derwin James is a fucking phenomenal defensive back.
Still,
that hits like a linebacker. You know, but in the first half, you know, Smith threw 2 picks. Fucking first pass of the game, dude. Smith threw a fucking interception.
He was 0 for 10.
Yeah.
He was 0 for his first 10.
He calmed down. He was able to hit Jacoby Myers a couple times in the slot, which is a perfect position for him. They need a burner. Obviously, they need a wide receiver 1. But without that, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Bowers at tight end and Myers in the slot. So for me, if the Raiders are going to be successful, if you don't want Genty to like just rack up a ton of carries early on, then you split time, but he's got to touch the ball more than 11 times a game. He has to. The pass blocking will come. That comes. He wasn't expected to do a lot of it at Boise. And again, you have linemen that take wide splits in college, especially at Boise, right? So they were able to mostly, maintain that slack against the rush. And Genty just had to like chip block. You can't do that in the NFL. You have to like get in a dude's face if you're going to pass block as a running back. That'll come with time. That will come with time. But like for me, I want Genty to touch the fucking ball 20 times a game, whether it's just runs or runs and pass, pass catching. Like this is an electric player. Use them, right? When you don't have a lot of weapons on offense, you got to use the ones you have. You can't just be like, well, I'm holding them in the pocket for week 6. No, dude. That's not how that
you
shit
don't
works.
have that kind of time, Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
In life and in this season.
Pete, you're 78 years old, dude. Okay.
Time is something is very precious for you.
Yeah.
Brother
I know you're young and spry, and you and Mrs. Carroll probably still, a couple times a week. But dude, you could fall over dead on the sideline tomorrow. So fucking pump the brakes with that shit.
Well, let's take a quick look at the games for next week. Texans, Jaguars. Someone's got to win.
Yeah, that I don't know what's going on with CJ. He looked like ass last week. The Texans do not look like they did during CJ's freshman year, right? I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's a scheme thing. Dude, Mercutio, he is definitely playing Tomb Raider still. He's playing Tomb Raider 1. Okay. His Lara Croft still has like triangular boobs. But yeah, this is two bad teams, man. I don't know how much more talent the Jaguars can like
The
add.
Jaguars almost beat the Bengals. There was a drop pass at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That was perfectly thrown. We have to admit that was a perfectly thrown pass at the end of the game.
But I mean, are we getting to the point where like you just gave Trevor a giant contract?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think drafting Etienne has worked out very well. He hasn't really shown me much. You've got a guy that was primarily a defensive back that you're now transitioning to a full-time wide receiver. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Dr. Claw has a good point. There was a defensive pass interference on Travis Hunter that was real.
Yeah.
Look, bad calls are going to happen in a game. You never want a game to come down to bad calls.
Yeah.
I don't think the Jaguars are as bad. I think ETN did lead the team in rushing with, but we'll look and see what he had. I thought he had like 70 or 80 yards. The Texans, another game that what happened to that defense? 4th and 10, and Baker Mayfield scrambles for a first down.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, let's just put it this way, and I'm sure we've probably said it a few times, but I'm going to reiterate it. Carolina and the Browns are probably both kicking themselves in the ass right now. That's straight up and down, man. Since he got to Tampa, I get it. He's got weapons there, but he looks like he's in command of that offense and the attitude that he plays with, like that 4th and 10 where he ran for 15, gets up and just starts fucking smacking his, like just jaw jacking. Like, dude, that's the type of QB you want.
Travis Etienne is the number 2 leading rusher in the NFL right now, by the way.
How many yards?
214.
That's not
number
bad
1
over
is
2
Jonathan
games.
Taylor.
Yeah, I figured Taylor would be up there. Fucking talk about a fall from grace. So for Derrick Henry, fucking just kills everybody week 1 and does shit in week 2.
Yeah, he's number 3 with 192.
Yeah.
James Cook, Bijan Robinson, who's a beast this year.
Yeah.
But I think these teams, as they have to figure out who Travis Hunter is going to be.
Yeah.
That's the hard thing. Is he that good of a wide receiver that you have to play him? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, like I said last week, I'm playing him in the defensive backfield, and I'm scheming 10 to 15 plays a game for him.
On offense or on defense?
On offense, like making him a primary defensive player, But yeah, it's I don't know, man. Like you're absolutely right. You have to figure out what you're going to do with Travis, what his primary focus is going to be, and then go from there.
Another game that's interesting to me is Titans and Colts, mainly because Cam Ward is someone that a lot of people like talking about, and surprisingly very positively, regardless of the Titans' 0-2 record. The Colts are 2-0. Daniel Jones has looked good in both games. Are the Colts for real? Are they going to be the class of the AFC South?
Well, I mean, it's not hard to be the class of the AFC South. After we get our NBA team up in Rosarito, we'll get the NFL team. And then we'll be in the AFC South, and we'll probably win that 3 out of every 5 years. So it's not a good division. Somebody has to win it. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Colts do it. But like for me, yes, he played on just a shit team in New York. But Danny Dimes, you always have to wait for the other shoe to drop. It always happens. You can almost set your watch to it. Like he puts up these few good games, and then he goes out and he goes like 12 of 26 with 3 picks and averages 5 yards a pass. Like That's just,
maybe he's finally got the team around him that he can actually put something together.
you know what? For his sake, because I'm trying to be 13.6% nicer to quarterbacks this year. I hope for his sake that maybe he's turned it around.
Commanders at the Raiders, and Commanders are going to be without Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking. Knee sprain, which is horrible for quarterbacks. This is a game that the Raiders can take. If Jaden's out, he's kind of the straw that makes the entire, he stirs the drink. And without him there, I don't know, man. I mean, this is a game that the Raiders could take. But again, the Raiders need to make sure Ashton gets the ball more than 11 times.
Mariota's not there anymore, right?
No.
Damn. This is why they need Mariota. Eagles at the Rams. The Rams defense is pretty good in the post Aaron Donald world. Is this a preview of the NFC Championship game?
I think it depends on how Stafford plays.
Mm-hmm.
He's 36 years old. He's got a back injury he went overseas to get treatment for. If he is statuesque in that pocket, it's going to be a very long day for the Rams offense, right? But if we can get that Stafford that's able to like slide around and hit, Puka, their running backs are actually pretty good. This could be one of those like slugfest games for the Eagles too. But if they can get to Stafford early, like that is a perfect plan for what the Eagles have to do. Get Stafford early. Mm-hmm. You let Jalen come out. You might not be able to hit deep throws to like AJ or Smith, but you still have Saquon, right? So like, how much defense do you have to guard everybody? The Eagles will be able to find holes against the Rams defense.
Well, we'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
Panthers are at the Atlanta Falcons. Penix looks like he's the real deal. Like we said, he was going to be the real deal. This game, I think, is for me. It's all Falcons. I'm really excited to see what Bijan and Drake London, the plethora of weapons.
Bijan could put up 200 yards against the Panthers.
Kyle Pitts is catching passes now.
Yeah.
This may be a long day for the Panthers.
Oh, I fully expect it to be. I fully also expect to see some Panthers fans go in their closet and dig out some Falcons jerseys too. So,
it's that game. Okay, Patriots at the Steelers. So everyone was like, Aaron Rodgers still got something to prove, and then they get shellacked the following week. The Patriots pulled off a very good win against the Miami Dolphins. They'll be playing in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, this is Pittsburgh's game, man.
You think Pittsburgh's going to win this?
Yeah, man. Just DK's out there. He's going to cause problems. I love their running back, Warren. I don't even Aaron Rodgers on one leg can probably still beat a lot of the defensive backs that New England has. Like I said, New England does not have a good roster right now, right? It's not good. And the Steelers are better. The thing is, if New England can slow this game down, like if I'm Mike Vrabel, you know what I'm going to my offensive coordinator with tomorrow night or tomorrow morning? All right, scrap everything you've already drawn up. We're running the triple option. We are just going to run the ball. Right? Make sure Rodgers never gets on the field, win the game 6-3, and go home to Foxborough. Right? Like that's
like 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
That's right. Just like make this ugly as shit. Like
another game that I think is going to be ugly, but not for the 3 yards in a cloud of dust reasons, because who are the Browns starting at quarterback? The Browns will be going to Green Bay to play the Packers.
Have you ever seen an adult feature where a woman is fisted in her butthole? That is what the Packers will do to the Bears.
Be surprised how many people love the crack.
I mean, Joe Flacco looks like a 40-year-old statue.
Kushlet goes, no.
Low Kush. If you have not seen it, hi Drea. I do not recommend looking for it.
No, Del, don't get your. Oh man, if you want to know how my algorithm got so bad,
That's why.
I was looking for this documentary that I watched years ago.
It's called Fists of Fury, and it took him.
Well, was it me and you on the stream where I was looking for the?
No,
or was it me and Toussaint? Was it me and you?
It was you and MT.
It wasn't me and you.
No, I don't.
Are you
think so.
sure?
Maybe it was.
Where I was looking for the dude that paints the cholos jerking each other off.
Oh, yes, that was me. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
That and I was looking for this documentary. I saw it like maybe 20 years ago, and it was confessions of people that fucked animals.
Gross.
But they didn't show their faces, and it was like this beautiful kind of like shot of like horses running through a field, and there's people like, when I first lost my virginity to a horse, and you're like, you did what to a who?
Excuse me? Excuse me. That is too much.
So when you look for things like that your algorithm is never going to be right.
No, it never will. All right, pick a few more games. I got to go at 11:30, man. I got to get some rest.
Okay. Buccaneers, Jets.
I think Fields is being screened for concussion, right? I would rather have them sit him so he doesn't like end up like Tua. But like the Jets look like they're putting some things together, and I think Fields has looked very good at the start of the Jets part of his career. But I mean, I always wait for the other shoe to drop with the Jets because like they just historically do that. And the Buccaneers with Mayfield there just look so good. Tampa's kind of been spoiled. They get the last couple years of Brady, and then you have a dude who's kind of been passed around like a blunt at Snoop's house. Everybody's saying he can't play, and he just steps into it and owns it. Yeah, I'm the guy following Tom Brady, and I don't give a shit. I'm Baker Mayfield. I'm here, and he's done nothing but play good football, and made it so the Buccaneers kind of just reloaded instead of rebuilding, and that's what you want. So, like, if Justin Fields plays, if he's okay, that'll be a close game, I think. But if Justin Fields doesn't, I think this is going to be Buccaneers.
Chargers, Broncos. I mean, I have to go with the Broncos no matter what.
I know you do.
I'm not worried about this game.
I don't know if you're going to be happy at the the end of this, bro.
I was not happy at the end of the other game because I was like, oh yeah, we didn't what?
Yeah, man.
That was not fun. Seahawks, Saints. People have to stop shitting on Spencer Rattler.
No, they don't. The Saints are like $60 million over the salary cap for what? Like
I'm so mad at you. No, they don't.
Fifth
Don't you
round.
tell those good people to stop shitting on that?
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Yeah, Dre, I do have tribal tattoos. They go from my wrist to my shoulder. So yeah, I've gotten really in there.
Spencer
that's your
Rattler
theory.
is ranked above Caleb Williams and CJ Stroud.
Yeah, we're 2 games into the season, man. But like the Saints aren't very good. I kind of feel bad for Alvin Kamara. He's only got a few more serviceable years as a running back, and he's playing on a very talent deficient team. This could be a big coming out game for your boy Sam. It's not a good team, doesn't have a good defense. This could be a game where he just drops bombs on him, right?
I think it is. To be honest with you, I think it is. Or it's the game that the running game just goes fucking bananas.
Yeah, and the thing is, Seattle's like has a cupboard full of like good running backs.
Yes.
And I don't know, they just don't use them enough.
This may be the game where they run for like 300 yards. Bears at the Cowboys.
God, of course you picked this game.
I mean, I didn't pick it.
I know, but like of all the wins you're going to point out, I mean, I'm not impressed with the Cowboys. I don't think they're very good. And then I don't think the Bears are very good right now. This might be a hard one to watch. You know?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Chicago comes out of this one. It's going to be one of those 42 to 46 games.
Well, dude, that's going to be Dallas almost all season.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, they're going to have to outscore everybody because they don't stop anybody.
I'm here for it.
They can't even get to the quarterback anymore. They sent their leading pass rusher to
giving Caleb Williams some confidence in a Dallas game in Dallas, and he throws for like 300. And he pull out a win.
He doesn't have to worry about Micah Parsons chasing him down.
Oh man, let that kid exhale for a change. He's got to worry about Micah Parsons twice a year now. Anyway, with the Packers, Niners, Cardinals, Mac Jones.
This might be a game because, like, you got to think Mac Jones isn't signed long term. You know, he doesn't want to remain a backup. This is this audition that Mac Jones has. Filling in for Brock while he's down, like this could be good for him if he plays well. And like starting off with the Cardinals, like that's not a bad thing. What time's that game kick off?
That's a late game.
That's a late game.
It's for you. It's 4:30.
Okay, well that's not too bad. At least it's not like the Sunday night game because I feel like that's punishment.
Sunday night game is Giants Chiefs, which is back to Sunday night games being not very good.
Yeah.
And now in 1988, that was a good Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm. Christian Okoye leads the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm gonna watch some football.
I'm here with the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye.
Who was their quarterback? Was it Joe Montana?
No.
Bill Kenny?
Wasn't it Steve DeBerg?
It was some journeyman. It was like Bill Kenny, Steve DeBerg. Was that when Dave Craig went there?
I think because that was right before Joe got traded, right?
It was right before Joe got traded.
Yeah. Dude, Mac Jones with the weapons that the Niners have, he could go off.
Monday night's a big game.
Who we got Monday night?
Ravens Lions.
Ooh, that'll be a good one.
That's a Super Bowl. That's a potential Super Bowl preview.
That is
in Detroit.
That is one of Roger Goodell's like nightmares.
Listening,
Commissioner Goodell, did you see the championship games? No, I was fucking my mistress. Who's in? Baltimore, Detroit. God damn it,
dude. For me, playing in Detroit, this game is going to show if Detroit's defense is for real.
Yeah.
If they can shut down the Ravens. So the Ravens are one of the best regular season teams I've ever seen in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and the thing is, Henry's going to come back hungry because he did not play well against Cleveland.
That's insane. But can the Lions shut him down like that?
I mean, Cleveland put up a good blueprint. But Derrick Henry, he'll have a down game, but then he will go off on tears, and that's not a guy I'm betting against. When the Incredible Hulk is running at you at, 4.4 speed, I don't like that, right? But yeah, man, that'll probably be a really good game. I can see Baltimore pulling that one out, though. I just think Lamar Jackson is a big X factor, right? Because you can stack the box. Spoiler alert, Lions defense is not for real. Yeah. Oh. I mean, that's what kind of shocked me, Red, with Aaron Glenn leaving, the difference in how they've played from last year to this year. It could just be, guys getting used to the new scheme. But yeah, I see Baltimore pulling this one out, but I think it'll be a good game.
I do have to show you this before you go.
Oh gosh.
It is funny.
Holy Christ. Holy Christ. Holy Christ, there's nothing left.
Oh man. And the thing is, they're not lying. They're not. They thought a big offensive line upgrade was going to be La'el Collins. Like, Jesus Christ.
and then I have to show you. This is MT doing the narration.
Gave him the slinky neck. Get this nigga the fuck up out of here. This nigga is dookie yuki. They made you do it a pterodactyl into a nigga camera. Made your ankles do the jello jiggle. Done deal. Let a 25 overall up off the bench. A whole tech right here. They made you scrape your Gucci on camera. Whole nother sport turned you to a soccer goalie at a basketball game. Can't imagine doing a turkey neck and another nigga highlight. Nigga sent you to another universe. Had you diving for Easter eggs on Halloween.
Oh my God, dude.
There you go. Have a good night, everybody.
Connor said Joe's whole contract is going to life insurance premiums because of that.
Tyre just jumped on and saw that. She said he had you scraping your gooch on the ground.
You never want to be playing basketball, especially pickup basketball, and your gooch ends up with more contact on the court than your sneakers.
I just the way his neck was too. It's like, oh man, that was not nice.
No, not at all.
Go to sleep, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. my time.
Oh my gosh.
And I'll be interviewing Bram Gieben of Revol Press. And then we'll be back the regular time at 6 p.m. to speak with Vivek Chibber about the PMC. And then after that, we have a TIR movie night.
What are we watching?
Magazine Dreams. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Ooh, I think you would really like that. I'm being totally serious. You want me to send you an email invite?
Yeah. Send it.
Thank you, guys. And we are... Where
Oh.
go? Wait. Now say it.
Out.